Hello everyone and welcome to yet another Right Hook results show. This week is for the 4 of Spades writing tournament, which was a 1,000 word contest. And this is the first contest where we will be crowning a world champion for the 1,000 word count. We are using seeding for the first time, so we'll have a championship bracket and a gold bracket. And those seedings are based on the performance in the last 1,000 word contest. Over in the championship bracket, we have one quarterfinal match and 3 stories going straight through to the semi-finals. The stories going through to the semi-finals on the bye system are Games, Proof of Death, and Thumbs Up. We're going to stick with the championship bracket right now, and we're going to cover the only quarterfinal matchup, which is the Nelson game sponsored by Ho Ho and Twinkie versus The Talent Show. And we had 2 judges for this one. And both judges scored it for The Talent Show. The Talent Show advances on to the semi-finals to face Games. Over to Gold, where we have 4 stories, so we just go straight to the semi-finals for this one. And the first semi-final contest is The Silence Left Behind versus Ghost in the System. We had 3 judges for this one, and the first judge scored it a tie. And usually we would separate by categories, but the judge for this one scored every category exactly the same, so there's nothing to separate to 2 stories on that judge's scorecard. So in the event that we still have a tie at the end of all the judges weighing in, I will be the deciding vote, but we still have 2 judges left to go through. The second judge scored it for The Silence Left Behind, and the third and final judge also scored it for The Silence Left Behind. So that means The Silence Left Behind has advanced onto the final in the gold bracket. The other semi-final contest was It's Just Data versus Golden Hour. This one had 2 judges, and both judges scored this for Golden Hour. Golden Hour advances onto the final to face The Silence Left Behind in the gold bracket. Back over now to the championship semi-final, where we have The Talent Show versus Games. This one had 4 judges. The first judge scored it for The Talent Show. The second judge scored it a tie. So we go to the categories. And with 5-4 on prompt adherence, this one was scored for The Talent Show. And judges 3 and 4 also score it for The Talent Show. The Talent Show advances onto the finals in the championship bracket. The other semi-final contest in the championship bracket was Proof of Death versus Thumbs Up. This one had 2 judges. And both judges scored the contest for Proof of Death. Proof of Death advances onto the finals to face The Talent Show. Back over now to the gold bracket, where we are in the finals. And the finals for that bracket are The Silence Left Behind versus Golden Hour. We had 5 judges for this one. The first judge scored it for Golden Hour. The second judge scored it a tie. So we move over to the categories. On prompt adherence, both stories tied again. And it wasn't until we got to overall impact or emotional resonance that we were able to separate the stories. With a score of 5-4, that judge scored it for The Silence Left Behind. The third judge scored it for The Silence Left Behind. The fourth judge scored it a tie. And much like the last tie, they tied on prompt adherence, and then when we got to overall impact or emotional resonance, with a score of 5-4, it was scored to The Silence Left Behind. And then the fifth and final judge also scored it to The Silence Left Behind, meaning that with a score of 4 votes to 1, the winner of the gold bracket and taking home a €200 prize is The Silence Left Behind by Melinda Chopik. Congratulations. We now move back over to the championship bracket, where we are ready to crown our first champion of the 1,000 word division. And we have 2 potential stories. The Talent Show versus Proof of Death. And we had 4 judges for this one. The first judge scored it for proof of death. The second judge scored it for a tie. So we move over to the categories. And on prompt adherence with a score of 5-4, that judge scored it for proof of death. The third judge scored it a tie. So we move over to the categories again. On prompt adherence, they again scored it a tie. So we move over to overall impact or emotional resonance, where with a score of 4-3, that judge scored it for the talent show. And the fourth and final judge scored it for proof of death. Congratulations to Angela Benham, the author of Proof of Death, who is now our first world champion of the 1,000-word division and also the first ever 2-time winner of a writing hook contest, which I believe she won this very word count the last time as well. So she has mastered this word count and is now its world champion. And what that means now is that when she defends this title, she'll be automatically entered into the next 1,000-word contest, and she will have free entry for as long as she can keep hold of this title. And hopefully she'll have many fresh challengers for the next 1,000-word contest. And that is it for this week's results. Congratulations to both our winning writers. If you think that you could step into the ring, then our next contest is on March 6th. It is the Jack of Spades tournament and is 100 words for a potential €200 prize. If you think you have what it takes, then head on over to GetRightHook.com, hit the join button, and we'll see you there.